Okay, welcome to our What is Coaching call tonight. We are the Grit and Grace Tribe. What's really cool is that this team is part of a much larger team that just yesterday got the news that we're a 7-time elite team, meaning top 200 in the company out of 450,000. And that's pretty incredible. So what that means for you, if you are a part of our tribe already, is we rock. And if you're not, it means that we are a super solid team that knows what the heck's going on. We know how to help other coaches succeed because you cannot hit elite without duplicating success for other people. And we have a ton of systems in place as well as trainings to help you not just join a team, but build a very successful business for yourself. So my name's Ashley Gibson. I have been coaching for over 5 years. I was still in college finishing my degree. My kids were little. I knew I didn't really want to finish my degree and go to work a 9 to 5 ever. And then coaching fell in my lap, long story short. And I first just kind of did it as a way to plug in with other women and not feel like I was lonely as a stay-at-home mom. But I quickly saw the business potential and the income potential, and I was really inspired by the women I was surrounded by, and I thought, hey, if they're doing that, like, why not me? And I just ran after it. So now I work very part-time hours, but make a better salary than I did as a teacher. So that's pretty cool. And co-hosting with me tonight is Joy, and then there's a ton of other coaches on our team that we're going to talk a little bit about and introduce you to. But Joy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, I did a little video yesterday, but if you didn't have a chance to watch it, I'm Joy Harrington. I started Beachbody coaching 2.5 years ago. I jumped in all the way. A lot of coaches start first as a client. I did not start as a client. I knew I wanted to go all in. So I jumped all in as a coach and a challenger. And before I even did my first challenge, I had 2 girls doing it with me because I was like, crap, I got to make this investment back. No, I was also very excited. So, and then I went all in. And in the first 21 days, I started to see abs, which I had never had in my entire life. And I was feeling amazing. I had awesome energy, and I was seeing that people were thinking I was inspiring. I was sitting here like, are you kidding me? I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2 little babies. I'm not inspiring. And people thought that I was. And so I was like, well, maybe I can do this. So I just kept going with it, and I loved the purpose that it gave me and the drive to not just spend my day, not really having to push myself, right? Because when you're a mom, yes, it's hard. Yes, it's taxing, but I didn't really feel like it was pushing me as a person to grow or to get to a different level. And so I loved having that challenge back and kind of getting that independence back for myself that I had definitely just given up in being a wife and a mom. It's been 2.5 years now, and I haven't looked back. Everything's changed for us. Even the way my husband does his business has completely changed because I said yes to Beachbody, and I started doing personal development and introducing him to it. And now we both work out together, and we're making more income than we were before. Like, his business has grown too. So it's been pretty much a whole family transformation for us.
Yeah, no, and even in I don't know, how long have I known you? 2 years? It's been like 180 just in the short time that I've known you. So, I mean, it's true. I didn't really know what coaching was. I didn't get it. I didn't understand like the full scope at first, but my friend Tracy, who invited me to this, I saw her. I really admired what I saw in her life, and I trusted her, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn more about this because I like her. I like where she's headed with her life, and I want more of that in my life too. So chances are you're watching this call because something that somebody said who invited you here spoke to you. So I want to ask Joy this first question. Can you tell us, what is a coach and what exactly does a coach do?
Well, I'm going to use a phrase that you used last time. A coach is basically someone's cheerleader. We get to help encourage other people and basically believe in them before they believe in themselves. So I love it. It doesn't mean that we're a nutritionist. We're not a fitness expert. We're not anything like that. We're just someone who wants to keep working on ourselves and getting to a better place for ourselves, and then encouraging other people to join us in that journey. And that's it. So I love that, because it doesn't mean that we're perfect. It doesn't mean that every day we're like, I only ever eat clean, I never eat chocolate type of people, because we're definitely not that. We're human and we're real, and we share our journeys with the realness in it. We don't try to be perfect. We just try to strive for more and invite other people to do the same.
Yes. Amen. Amen to that. And that's one thing that I hear a lot is like, well, do I have to be in great shape? Or, well, lately I've heard a lot, well, I just need to work more on me and getting my own results before I can coach other people. And I'm like, no, the journey is what inspires people. It's like the process of working on yourself. It's not the flat abs on the front of Shape magazine. It's like watching you become who you're becoming. So if you're someone out there wondering, like, I can't do this because I don't have the fittest body, that's just couldn't be further from the truth. Nikita, is your house quiet if I ask you a question? You ready for, she says 1 minute. Okay. We're going to talk about who can become a coach. And I just touched on that a little bit, because a lot of people
All set.
Oh, she's all set. Okay. So Nikita she's a homeschool mom. She's got 4 kids at home. Her husband's retired from the Air Force. Nikita, who can become a coach?
Anybody can become a coach, because abs are not required.
And can you elaborate on that? Like, what would you say to a woman who's like, well, I just don't know a lot about social media, or I don't know, how to run a challenge group?
Challenge groups are super easy to run as long as you show up and you are being your own best challenger. If you're showing up, then your tribe will follow. And as far as social media, that's super easy, because you can literally find every single thing there is to know about social media on YouTube.
Yeah, no, we're getting ready to start Transform 20 on Monday. We're really excited about the launch of this new program, and the material to coach this group is already passed down from corporate. So I just log into my own Coach Online Office, and I have like a step-by-step coaching toolkit already there for me. So you don't have to be a health and fitness expert, because your job isn't to do the teaching. Corporate does that. Beachbody comes up with that stuff. You're just the one who passes along the tools. It's just like when you become a mom and you get mom-to-mom advice about diaper rash or, different ways to soothe baby. You're just passing along other advice and sometimes recommendations that have worked well for you. And that's what coaches do. And it's a lot of fun, because you get to learn and grow along the way, but you're never pretending to be the expert. That's why we have celebrity trainers who develop the workouts alongside exercise scientists. That's why we have nutritionists and registered dietitians who develop the meal plans, and everything else we just give people access to. We're not really creating it. We're just pointing people the right direction for those resources created by other professionals. Joy, can you think of any other common things you hear about? I couldn't coach because, like, I don't think I could do this because.
People say time, and time is a really big myth, I think. Well, one is we all have the same amount of time, right? So you have the time. It's just a question of, do you want this to be a priority? Because we make time for the things that we love. And when I first started, could only dedicate nap time 5 days a week to building a business, and I still always had a paycheck. I know Ashley was the same way. There are seasons of life where you can give more and you can give less, but if it's something that's important to you, you will find the pockets of time here and there. Jen's a mom of 7 kids, and if she's got the time, I tell people straight up when they try to tell me that they can't because they're juggling their kids, I'm like, no, I've got a mom of 7. You cannot do that. Like, she's got the time, you can do it. And so I would also say it's about being smart with your time. It's not about having hours of time. It's about knowing how to be smart. But our team, we already have training in place. We already have challenge groups for you to plug into. We already teach you about social media. So literally we've cut down your time. If you were an entrepreneur going and starting your own business with no one like that, it would take a lot of time, but you're not. You're jumping into a team that already has it in place for you. And it's very much like that's the benefit of joining an MLM is it is a cookie cutter business that they hand to you. And you make it not cookie cutter by being you and being authentic. But as far as the actual procedures and everything that you need to have a successful business, it's already there. They've already pre-done all the work, and then our team has. We literally hand you everything. So if you don't have an hour a day to spend on this, I would argue it's not that you don't have the hour, it's that it's not a priority to you. And if that's not a priority to you, then that's fine. But it's not a matter of not having the time.
Yeah, when I saw this, when I started digging into the opportunity, I was just doing nap time like Joy. But then I realized the potential of what my time could produce income-wise, and I made the decision for our family to step away from things like volunteer opportunities, which I felt like I should be doing, but the reality was they weren't serving us or our dreams. So I didn't have to be the child care coordinator for our mom's group anymore. I didn't have to be the mom who made like homemade snacks for preschool. There was much more time in my day if I was willing to say, no to things that maybe felt good, but in the big picture weren't serving our family. And I just did that again. I was asked to coach my kids' soccer team, and I was like, I'm going to be at the games and practices, but I'm not going to commit to coaching because it's just not, it's not what's going to produce the fruit we want to see in our life right now. So there's always time. But speaking of time, Joy, like, okay, what would you say the time commitment is for a new coach who just wants to, say, earn their investment back, make $100 extra a month versus what kind of time you're investing or Nikita's investing people at the diamond level and beyond?
Well, that's very dependent on how people work because you can tell some people to take an hour, 5-6 days a week, and they'll be able to make their investment back. And then other people will take that hour and completely squander it and call it work. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to put a blanket statement out there. It depends on the person. But I would say probably an hour, hour and a half, 5-6 days a week. I mean, that's all you and I did in the beginning.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. And in fact, we have this thing called a success tracker. Basically tells you every day of the week what you need to be doing, and it even tells you how long to spend on that activity. And when you add it up, it's no more than 90 minutes. So, and that they're only recommending that you use that Success Club tracker 5 days a week. So if you can carve out 90 minutes 5 days a week, then that is a business that can really start to pay you well. We're paid really well now, and I spend about 12 to 15 hours a week, 3 hours a day, probably 5 days a week. That's Joy, yours is about the same, right?
Yeah.
So we're making.
So let me jump in for 1 second.
Go ahead. Take it away.
So as a newer coach, because you guys will. Yeah. So as like newer, I consider myself newer only because I like started taking my business seriously this time last year. And the only reason I was taking it seriously was because if you remember, Ashley, I was like already really into it. And so I was sort of like, didn't really know how to do like a business, but like also because I was doing it because it was like my passion, because I like it was for me. And then last year, like I was like running my business without even like running my business. Like I didn't even know what I was doing. It literally took me like an hour a day. And that was including like getting in a workout and posting like a video that made me feel good about myself. I wasn't even, and if I'm being honest, like I was not even reaching out to people. All I was doing was I was working out. I was making sure that I was like following the meal plan to a T, because it was for me. Like I was just doing it for myself and simply sharing my journey. That's all I was doing. Like, do you guys remember how obnoxious I was on social media about like, here's my, like every single Tuesday I had do you remember, Ashley? Like every single Tuesday I had a transformation. Like when I was doing 80 Day Obsession, because I literally did it when it launched, and I was posting every single Tuesday. And the weight was falling off because I was following the meal plan to a T and like pushing myself as hard as I could with the workouts. And I wasn't doing it to coach or make money. I was literally just doing it because I was like, I'm doing this for accountability. And then people started messaging me and being like, what are you doing? Like, this is crazy. And then I was just saying like, oh, and I was totally name dropping too. I didn't even care. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm doing 80 Day Obsession. And people were still like, I'm in there. Like, I want a piece of this. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And that's how it started for me. Like, I wasn't even trying to like, I wasn't following a tracker or doing anything, but I was like making bank because people were like, wow, okay. So it's really like, I feel like people way overthink this. I just told a friend today who's thinking about jumping back into coaching, because she said that it was like stressful for her at first and that she felt like she had to post every day. And I was like, if I don't feel like posting one day, like I have stuff going on, like if McKenna has an appointment or something and I don't feel good that day, then I either post about how I'm feeling and I say like, I'm not feeling good today and whatever, because life happens, because that happens to everybody. I'm not unique in the fact that life happens to people. Like, that's just how I approach things, just being raw. I share the good and the bad. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. Working out isn't always super fun, and meal prepping isn't, always super fun, and following a meal plan isn't really easy all the time. But like, if you're doing it, I don't know, it was just so rewarding for me. And so I feel like because I was excited and I was sharing my results for me and people could see I was being genuine about that, it was kind of easy in a sense, because I really wasn't trying to sell anything. I was just sharing my results, and people were like, hey, what are you doing?
Well,
I feel like the time thing is definitely not valid.
No, and that's the exciting thing for anybody who's interested in this business, is it really goes back to a coach is, number one, the best leader of themselves. That's why for people who feel like they need to get in a better place mentally and physically, coaching is the right route, because it keeps you accountable to a team like the one on the screen and to the people who are following your journey. So when you can do something like Nikita, where you're like, okay, I'm going to commit to this program, whether it's Transform 20 or 80 Day Obsession or 21 Day Fix just for 3 weeks. I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to get myself results, but I'm going to share about it. I mean, how many times has anyone on this call, just raise your hand, like seen someone share a cute deal at Target or something they just bought, and you just went online and bought it right away because someone said that they loved it and it worked for them and it was a good deal? Like, being a coach is not being a salesperson. It's being someone who shares what works well for them. And women do that all the time, every day, all day long, without exception. Like, I shared this before, but I was at a book club. Everyone was talking about some flat shoes that, who just got the new princess? Who's the new princess? Meghan Markle. Flat shoes that Meghan Markle, the new princess, was wearing. And then they all, like 12 of them, ordered them on the spot. And I was like, people love talking about products that they love. And that's really all coaching is getting yourself results and then being someone else's cheerleader. So I'm glad you stepped in and shared that. It doesn't take a ton of time. It's just like Joy said, what are you doing with that time? Are you scrolling your newsfeed and commenting on, cute cat videos, or looking at someone else's vacation photos and wishing you had their life? Or are you, making new connections and really getting what you need to do done in that hour? And then you always have enough time. Okay, next question. Oh, there was a question in the chat, which ties into, yeah. Okay, so what do we mean when we're talking about making your investment back? Well, common question, how do coaches earn money? The first way, there's basically two different lines of income, and the first way that you earn money is through retail. Basically, when you help someone else get results, like Nikita helped her friends get started with 80 Day Obsession because they saw her results. Beachbody gives you a referral fee. You get 25% commission on anything that somebody orders through you when you refer them to a product or program. So you get straight 25% retail commission. It's actually higher. It's 30% for digital products like Beachbody On Demand, which is our Netflix hub of fitness. So that's pretty cool. And then you can also earn what's called a team cycle bonus if you do what like Joy and I have done, what Nikita's doing, what Jen's doing. When you start building a team, then you get a team bonus, which is basically, it's just a mentorship bonus. When you help other coaches become leaders, when you help them start earning income, when you help them start growing a team, you get paid a mentorship bonus, which we call a team cycle bonus, where corporate says, hey, we see you as a leader investing in your team, and we see that they're getting results too, so we're gonna pay you a little bit extra for that work that you've done. Joy, would you explain that any differently? No? Okay, cool. So yeah, commissions are a lot of fun. It's like we get paid every Thursday, which is awesome, because every Thursday, you know, you're going to wake up and you can get paid instead of like every 2 weeks or some jobs that pay you once a month. And I know from other companies that they don't start you out making 25%. You have to like earn your way to that. And I really hate that idea. So I'm proud of working with a company that regardless of your rank, regardless of your level or when you started, you get paid your full commission from day one, no matter what. I love that. Okay. Ooh, Jen, I'm going to have you unmute if you can, because I'm going to get to the second part of this question. But what if I'm not social media savvy or super techie? So like, what if I don't know a lot about social media? I don't have a good following on Instagram or don't even use Instagram. Joy, can you talk about that?
You want me to talk about it or Jen?
I'm going to have you talk about social media, and then I know Jen is like a tech dud. So I'm going to have her talk about being a tech dud but still having success.
Okay. Social media is something that everybody has to learn, and it's a good idea to learn how to build something on social media now, because that's the way business is going. That's the way the world is going. Lots of stores are getting put out of business thanks to Amazon, and people aren't using taxis because they're using Uber. Like, there's so many things that are moving to apps and online, and so it can seem intimidating, but it's not, because in the beginning when I started and Ashley started, we were told to post 3 times a day to up engagement and all different posts, and we didn't have stories yet, so we didn't even know how to do stories. So like everything you see us doing, we've had to learn and we build on. It's not just like you jump in and take it all on at once. So you start with where you're at and you learn. And I tell people, like, if you want to talk to people in person, if that's more your vibe, do it. If you want to talk to people online, that's great. When I started, I didn't want to leave my kids. I didn't want to have to go through parties. I didn't want to have to do any of that. I wanted to be able to do it online at home. And so that's what I did. But like Jen, my new coach, when she started, she's done like phone calls, like, because that's how she prefers, or in person. So you can do what feels more natural to you. It's a good idea to start learning how to build yourself as a brand online in general, because that's how everybody is starting to make money. I mean, all these bloggers didn't exist. These fashion bloggers, lifestyle bloggers that are literally like, that's how they're getting paid now. Like, the whole world online that has potential for you to make income is huge. I just listened to a podcast the other day about 10 different ways to make money online. And my mind was blown because I didn't even know about all these ways. And when people are so desperate nowadays to make some extra money because they're not making enough, or they're worried about losing a job, it's smart to learn how to make some money for yourself online. I think that's smart for anybody, whether you're doing Beachbody or not. Like, figure out how to not have that constant fear and that constant worry of what will the future bring. And it's not hard to learn. We have a lot of training. There's tons of YouTube training, and you start with where you're at and you go from there. So,
well, and the training's all free. Like,
yeah.
I think just as recently as this past summer, Instagram really intimidated me. I had an account for a long time. I didn't know what to do with it. I wasn't using it properly. I did a few free YouTube videos, trainings from other coaches, and grew my following by like almost 6,000 people since summer. And it wasn't because it's rocket science. It just took me a couple hours to sit down and learn. And I was, when people talk about not having the time or not wanting to be on their phone to do work, I'm like, would you rather be like behind a cash register, or like where would you rather be working? Because I'd rather be working in the sunshine in my own backyard and get to stop whenever I want to. If that means learning a little bit more about social media, I'll take that over like a 9 to 5 anywhere ever. But I did want to call on Jen because she always makes fun of herself as being really tech illiterate. However, she's had a super amazing launch to coaching. So Jen, could you tell us a little bit about the success you've had and like what you'd say to a coach who's worried about, not being great with computers?
Or my own phone that I still have to figure out. That my daughter, I'm so glad she got back from China, because she says to me, she just got back and she's like, Mom, your pictures kind of suck. Here, let me show you a free app. And so she just gave me the free app, showed me what it was, and I'm like, oh, I like this. And she goes, I know. So now I put everything through, now that I know how to use Canva, because everybody's like, oh, this is so easy. And people can get in there. And my husband and my kids always tell me, Mom, you play with it and then you'll know how to do it. She says, they have to play with it. But all I think is, so everything is before kids get up or when kids go to bed and I already have somebody laying on me sleeping. That's when I play with things. So I now can do more. That's I can now do my things that I always said to Joy. Oh my gosh, how do you put pretty pictures and words and everything? I was like, oh, I'm so screwed and I'm not going anywhere. But funny thing is I do use YouTube a lot. I mean, I can make fun of myself and I'm still fine with it. My kids, yeah. Anyway, getting to the point, I still am a real person-to-person person. So I know a lot of people and I love a lot of people and they know people and they know people. And I like to talk to people. I think it actually stems back from when I was like 16 or 17. I worked at Gymboree, the kids' clothing store. And people, the way that we sold back then, you'd think that we got commission by how we sold, but we didn't. But you're graded on how you sold. And that was really hard for me because I actually wasn't a real talker, shocker, but I wasn't, I had to force myself to make conversation, but I didn't like being dishonest because I worked with girls that would always give compliments and they weren't real, but that's just not me. I'm a real person. So, I just like, wow, look at that color. Sounds like a compliment even when I'm mortified. Okay, that's me. But what I'm saying is I got used to putting myself out there, even to the point to where I'd step out of my comfort zone and talk to people in public and just, oh, hey, compliment or start a conversation. And my husband's all, don't do that. But that's who I am, and that's just who I am anyway. But the thing is I feel comfortable talking about something that I've looked into myself. And that's where you're going to find more comfort, is just like Joy and Ashley said, everything is right there at your fingertips. So everybody can take 15-minute, 20-minute snippets to go watch this video or read this little bit or this tutorial, whether it be something about the internet, something about Instagram, something about, and I guess everything's YouTube. Type in, I don't know how to use this on Instagram, how to use the stories on Instagram. They will show you everything, and then go back and play with it. And Joy's the one who showed me how to do a boomerang while we were on an early morning workout Zoom. And some of them were really crappy at the beginning. And sometimes even when I watch some people's, I'm like, I can't see that and I've got a headache. So, you're going to learn and things are going to get better. But hey, it's true. If I can first of all find the time, anybody can find the time. And if I can do it, so can they, because I'm really that dad in, what is it? cloudy with a chance of meatballs when his son is trying to tell him, okay, you see the desktop? Yeah. Well, move the thing across the desktop, and that's me. And my husband and my daughter make fun of me every day because that's who they refer me as. I don't know his name.
But how much success have you had in the business, even though you fumbled your way through your first couple of months, not knowing what a boomerang was?
I'm Ruby today.
You're Ruby today, so that means that.
And I will be by next week. I will be Diamond. Just saying.
Huge.
I've got everything in the works, and I'm very confident about that. But even better, we have a couple of my girls that we just signed that they're ready to go Emerald by next week too. So we're pushing. We want a really big team. I want to run just like our first meeting. I love that if I were to say anything to new coaches, there's nothing to be intimidated about any of the coaches above you, because what I've always loved is the family aspect, to where we run with each other. It's no one's left behind. It's all, come on. I mean, if you're going to slack, that's up to you, but I want to run. And it gets me pumped too when you see up there of everybody and what they're doing and what they got that week as far as who they brought in. I love welcome that. I mean, I've heard from several people, not just from my new coach, Crystal, where they're on teams that they have zero communication, zero help, and zero love and recognition. And I don't get that, but that is something I love about our team. So it's been amazing.
And if you're watching this wondering what Ruby or Diamond means, it means that Jen has become a leader, quickly building other leaders in a short amount of time, even though she has 7 kids and didn't know how to use Instagram. So there you go. Like, anyone can do this. You just have to decide and run after it. Okay, so my last question, this brings me to my last question. What if there are already other coaches in my community? Can I still succeed? One thing I hear a lot is like, oh, my friend's a coach, or someone else is doing this, or someone else is doing that. Like, people feel like there's no room for them in the marketplace. So Joy, what would you say to that person?
That's a very fear-based scarcity mindset, as we would say. Because when you think about it, there's 7 billion people on the planet. And so you're telling me not one person like you can talk to and potentially help. So I think when you're not used to working online, or you're not used to going out in public and making friends, you can definitely feel that way. But it comes back to, are you willing to put yourself out there and make friends? So if you want to go online and start conversations and meet people and do it that way, or you want to go out in person and join a volleyball club or something where you can meet people. But it's more just about meeting people and being willing to expand your network. And for me, kind of the switch I made in my head was that before I went through a hard season where I felt like it really defined who my friends were. And I think it was also telling of the kind of person I had been, where I kind of sat back and was like, well, who's going to be my friend? And they have to be someone who's calling me all the time and follow these rules to be my friend, right? And I made the switch into sitting here thinking who qualifies as my friend, to who can I be a friend to today? I don't have to know someone inside and out to be a friend. It's kind of like being a good neighbor, like Jesus said, right? And so instead of sitting back thinking I had no friends, I decided I was going to be a friend. And it didn't matter where they lived or how well we knew each other. I was going to reach out and offer them hey, I noticed you today. I noticed you. And I wanted to say, hi, how are you? Or, you are having a bad day, girl, man, I've been there. Me too. How can I help? Even just an encouraging word. And there's just I think a mental flip that you make. Do you want to have people come to you, or do you just want to go try to be a friend? So I tell people, don't wake up thinking, who am I going to sell today? No one wants to be sold. You don't want to sell things. It's more, who can you be a friend to? Who can you make their day? Who can you make smile? So I would wake up in the morning and go, who can I make smile today? And who's going to say yes to me today? Those were literally like the two questions I would ask myself. And when you go out and try to be a friend, people want to be your friend. It's not that hard. Like, so shocking, I know. But it's about being a friend and really trying to serve people however you can. And then you'll be surprised people want to join you.
Yeah. That, and I always like to compare it to having a hairstylist too. Like in our town of Yuma, there's a zillion hair salons, but I chose my girl for a reason, because I like her, because I identified with her. So if you're a coach and there are other coaches like in your community, that doesn't mean that everyone's going to automatically gravitate towards their personality or their story. Like, people relate to each other for different reasons. And so I always tell people, like, when I started coaching, there was at least 75 coaches in a town of 12,000 people. And I was still successful because I just had to be me, and people were attracted to me for a different reason than they would necessarily be attracted to Joy, or vice versa. So it's never about like who's already doing this. It's grab your seat at the table and rise to the top. Otherwise, you're just going to keep watching everybody else do what you wanted to be doing anyway. Okay, we can't end this call without talking about what it actually costs, because we mentioned earning your investment back. And so what does it cost to become a coach? How can you get started? And essentially, the cost to become a coach is mindlessly cheap. I can't believe you get to open a business for the cost of your own workouts. Coaches join a team just by investing in their own personal workout experience through Beachbody On Demand. And usually that's in conjunction with what we call a challenge pack. So you're also getting your month's worth of Shakeology or the Performance line, and it's about $160 depending on which pack you choose. Now keep in mind, that's a year of fitness, a year of your virtual gym, and a month of meals for you to personally consume and your family. And that gives you your coach account right out the gate, a turnkey business where you have free training, free support from mentors like our team. And you also get to start building your own transformation with programs like 80 Day Obsession, Transform 20, and also investing in your nutrition. So you're really not spending money on opening a business. You're just spending money on becoming the healthiest version of you with really convenient tools right at home. You can sign up for a $40 fee. If you're like, there's an option to just do a one-time $40 coach fee. I don't know why anyone would do that, because it's hard to talk about something you're not personally using. Like Nikita said, she hit a grand slam last year doing 80 Day Obsession because she was actually using a product, talking about it, sharing her enthusiasm and results. So if you open a coach account but you don't have access to the workouts or any of our products, you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot. I haven't had anyone join that way, but it is an option. And then a monthly fee is free for military spouses. Nikita's a military spouse. Morgan is. I have a lot of military coaches on my team. We don't pay a monthly fee. But if you are not a veteran or a spouse, it's $15.95 a month. That gives you all of your websites, gives you an email marketing system. It gives you all of your trainings, all of those challenge group tools. It tracks customer orders, customer purchases. It tracks your earnings. It's like amazing, because that kind of software for a home business, I mean, what does Peter spend on that sort of software for his business? Hundreds of dollars a month, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if you owned a coffee shop and you wanted to have QuickBooks for a month, it would cost at least triple that. So
Yeah.
to have everything in our business tracked for $15 a month is really any entrepreneur's dream, for it to be that cheap.
Not to mention, you're not schlepping any product. You're not buying any product, mailing it out, or anything like that, which I love, because I was like, I'm not doing that. They are doing it all for you, for your customers. They're giving them the customer service, all of that. So all of that's covered too. I love the fact that you don't have to buy anything if you're a coach. As far as your ongoing monthly stuff, you can pay your coach fee. If you're someone that's really serious about building the business, there are some incentives to buying some product every month, but that's more in depth and we can go over that. But you're not required to buy all this product and then resell it or even buy all this product for you or things like that. So,
and you still get paid your commission, because I've had coaches ask, if I don't purchase a certain amount monthly or sell a certain amount monthly, will I still get paid? And the answer is always yes. Like, whether you buy anything in February personally doesn't change the fact that if you sell someone Shakeology, you're still going to get your 25% commission. So there's no rules and stipulations about product purchasing or product vending in order to get paid your commission, which is super cool. It makes this not an icky MLM. Do we have any questions about anything we've talked about or anything that a coach on the line wants to add before we close out the meeting? You can chat them or unmute.
So I just wanted to say, for anybody that's on the fence, if you're serious about your own journey, like if you're serious about just yourself getting fit or being healthy or whatever reasons you have, some people have like diabetes and they're trying to lose weight or whatever. If you're serious about your own journey, spending the money to sign up as a coach, even if you decide, hey, this isn't for me, it's still not a waste of money, because
right.
Like you said, there's no monthly minimum. Like you're going to get discounts on your product. So like you're going to get a discount. Like you're going to definitely love Shakeology because everybody loves Shakeology. So even if you sign up as a coach and you're like, it's not for me, whatever, it's still not a waste of money. Like it's still good because you still have the support of the team, which in my opinion is just awesome. Like, I don't know. I love our team so much. Like, I know probably everybody in Beachbody says like, oh, I love my team, but like, no, ours is really the best out of the whole company. So I don't really care what any of them say. But it's really, it's not a waste of money, whether you decide to work the business or not, because you're going to get your results, but you also get a discount. So sure. I don't know. That's what I would say. Like, because I was a coach for like a year before I did anything, and it still was worth it. Even though I wasn't making any money because I wasn't working the business, it was still worth me signing up as a coach because I was getting a discount on something I was using every month anyways.
Yeah, no, for sure. And after I tried Shakeology for 6 days, I knew it was something I was going to drink forever. And so just having that monthly discount by having a coach account like saves us money, and it makes sense. So
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you added that because I forgot to tell everyone that you save 25%. And
right. And $30 adds up.
It does. It really
adds
does.
up.
I was drinking Shakeology for like 6 months before I knew I could have been saving $30 a month.
That's crazy.
What is that? Almost $200 I spent extra on something I was going to use anyway. Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. Do we have any other questions? Just want to thank everyone for getting on. I see so many faces from our team, which is awesome tonight. I love that you guys got on to come out and show your support for hopefully these new ladies that will be welcoming into our team page soon. All right. Oh, wait. Before we get off, we do have to get a boomerang. So hang on. Jen already knows what that is. So go ahead, Joy.
No,
are we all going to do the crazy wave?
Yeah, wave or whatever. And we'll be like,
we can do the crazy wave. Okay. Crazy wave in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Joy, did you want to add anything?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you guys.
Guys.
Yeah, this was fun.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.